octet and the duplet rule. It is a very important topic that we are going to discuss. So, octet and duplet rule. So, these two rules have been explained to check the of the atoms, stability of the atoms, that how many atoms are going to gain or lose the electrons to gain the stability. So everything in this universe needs to get stability, get the stability. So atoms also require to get stable by gaining or losing the electrons. So this gain or lose done by the two rules. The first one rule is octet rule, and the second one we have, it is the duplet rule. So these two rules are going to follow up for the stability of the atoms. So let's start. The first rule we have duplet rule. So in duplet rule we have, by definition, the duplet rule is ability of an atom. It is the ability of an atom to gain two electrons in its valence shell. In its valence shell. This is known as duplet rule. Duplet mean two. So the ability of an atom to gain two electrons in the valence shell, it is known as duplet rule. Now what does mean by valence shell? Valence shell, it is the outermost shell, outermost shell, or we can say that the outermost orbit of the atom. This is known as the valence shell. If I'm going to draw the structure for the hydrogen atom, hydrogen, its atomic number is 1. It means it is having one electron. Its electronic configuration is 1s1. It is having one electron in its valence shell, and for the stability it must have two electrons. So by gaining one more electron, let's draw its electronic structure. It is already having one electron, and by gaining one more electron it will complete its duplet and will stability get the stability. So this is the duplet rule. The ability of an atom to gain two electrons in its valence shell. This is known as duplet rule. So the first one is hydrogen element, and the second one we have is helium. It also gains two electrons in its valence shell to gain the stability. Let's next we have the octet rule. Octet, the word has been derived from octa. Octa means 8. So by the name or by the definition, it is the gain of 8 electrons, the gain of 8 electrons, and these 8 electrons must be gained in the valence shell of an atom. This is known as octet rule. The ability of an atom to gain 8 electrons in the valence shell, it is known as octet rule. Why the atoms need to require 8 electrons? So this is the question, that why atoms obey octet rule. So the simple answer for this is to get or to gain the stability. Atoms to get the stability gain or acquire 8 electrons in the valence shells. This is known as octet rule. So the atom, for example, we have sodium. Its atomic number is 11. Its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p, These are the 4, and the remaining we have 11, 4. 4 is minus 7. Next 2p 6 and 3s 1. First shell is K, the second one is L, and the third one is M. So M is its valence shell. In its valence shell, it is having only one electron. So no one atom is going to donate 7 electrons to the sodium. So in turn, the sodium will lose that electron. The sodium will lose the electron. After losing the electron, now its new electronic configuration will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p 6. The first shell and the second shell. First shell is K, the second shell is L. Now it is having 2 electrons in the first shell, and this is the valence shell. And in the valence shell, it is having 2 plus 6, total 8 electrons. So in turn, the sodium is going to obey the octet rule. Let's discuss more examples related to the octet rule. For example, we have neon. Its atomic number is 10. Its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p 6. First shell and the second shell. First shell is K and the second shell is L. In the first shell, it is having 2 electrons, and in the second shell, it is having 2 plus 6, total 8 electrons. This means it is already having 8 electrons, and neon, it is from the group 8A, that is having noble gases. So that's why noble gases have inertness in their nature. They are inert in nature because they have stable structure, stable structure. They do not need to lose or gain the electrons, gain the electrons. So that's why they are known as noble gases, and they are inert in nature because they have already their octet complete. So no need to lose or the gain electron by the noble gases. Next we have the example of chlorine, or we can say that fluorine. Its atomic number is 9. Electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p 5. 2 electrons in the first shell and 7 electrons in the second shell. So to complete its octet, octet mean in the valence shell it require total 8 electrons, but it is having total 7. So by gaining 1 electron, it will complete its octet, and its electronic configuration will become 1s2, 2s2 and 2p 6, and its electronic structure will become like this. In the first shell it is having 2 electrons, and in the second shell it is having already 7, and by gaining one more electron, this is the gained electron, and it will become a anion like -1 because it has gained the electron. Now this is its new electronic structure after the gain of one electron, and now it is a stable form. So that's why the elements need to obey the octet and the doublet rule. And why? To get stable or to gain the stability. So this is all about our today's lecture, that what does mean by octet and doublet root. I hope you guys understand about this, the octet and doublet root, and if you have any queries you can ask me about in the comment section, and I will get back to you guys soon inshallah. At that time, have a good day and Allah Hafiz.